Hello, ladies.
Hello.
Howdy. How you
How are
doing?
you? How are you guys tonight?
Good.
I'm
Very
doing
good.
all right. I'm a little disheveled because I feel like I crushed a lot into a small amount of time, but I'm here with my overalls.
And Janine, how are
Sounds
you
like
tonight?
motherhood. You said, "How am I?" I'm doing great. I'm looking forward to a great week. Yep.
Anything in particular?
Um, there's a lot. I can't even think of everything, but I do know that my son won his very first football game. Woo! So I'm looking forward to another great game. And
Okay.
yeah, lots of positive stuff this week.
Anything
Oh,
exciting happening? Oh, yeah,
there
that is you,
is,
girl.
yes.
That's you.
How did I forget about everything? Yes, there is Inspire 2023 calendar launch. It is a domestic violence awareness event. I am in the calendar, and we are having a calendar launch this coming weekend where the people in the calendar will autograph the calendar, and I may even perform. So hopefully it will be that. Hey, Kimberly in the chat,
Hey, Kim.
Coach Kim.
All right.
Okay.
Shauna, anything in particular happening this week for you?
I'm mostly working. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm mostly working. I do have a second date with somebody, but
Mm.
we'll see.
Yeah, you're usually emotionally uninterested, so that's
I sound emotionally uninterested.
No, you usually are when it comes to men.
No,
So
I didn't say I was emotionally interested yet. I said we're going on a second date. We'll see.
Love.
the lucky guys, second date. Woo, woo.
I know. I told my cousin I was going on a first date, and she's like, "That's great." I was like, "You're not like excited?" She goes, "If you go on a second one, then maybe I'll get excited."
Yeah,
Okay.
Like, oh, okay, that's fair.
I understand for sure.
Did you guys see
So-
Silky?
It takes a lot. I mean, it takes very little for me to be like, "Never mind."
Right.
I don't like the way you talk to the waitress. I don't like the way you chewed your food. I'm like, I can't do this forever. Never mind.
And no, that's funny. Somebody told me I can tell you lose interest quickly. I'm glad you noticed. Silky says our silly is here. Oh, okay. No, I think you were right the first time. Our silly.
Yeah. I was gonna say. I think he was correct the first time.
Yes.
Silky Savage.
Silky Savage. How you doing?
Mm-hmm. Well, today's topic is about how the songs and social media is manipulating the mind of our children.
Yeah.
And so, very interested in you guys' opinion, perspectives on different songs that are out, and then the social media being, the YouTube and stuff like that, and how children are trying to mirror what they see and don't understand the background stuff that happens.
Yeah. I have to tell my children often that what they listen to kind of festers in their minds and then it becomes actions at some point. So most of the time I have them listen in affirmations and they really don't like that they can't listen to what most of their friends listen to or can't watch the tickety talk, if you will. But it's like, you're impressionable. I don't need to see some of this stuff floating around my house because I didn't teach you this,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's one of those challenges of parenthood.
Shauna, do you have those?
See, I don't have necessarily the same rules. My kids have access to YouTube. They don't really have much access to social media platforms. My son has been trying to get me to let him get a Snapchat. I don't see any reason for a preteen to have conversations disappear because at any point I'm like, give me your phone, right? And also Snapchat makes it so I can't go, hey, give me your phone and see what you were talking about 2 days ago.
Because it's gone now, right?
I don't think that's necessary. They do have like access to YouTube and stuff. I check their history. But I just don't want them on Facebook and Snapchat and Instagram and stuff like that quite yet. Just because, especially I have a little girl and a little boy. Okay, and I think it's not easy to raise either sex of a child, but it is different no matter what. So, the filter thing, the beauty ideal of women. So especially for my daughter who's going through puberty, I don't really want her looking at all these girls. They don't even look like that.
Yeah.
Shauna, I don't want to talk over you. Hi, Blanco.
Hey, Blanco.
Go ahead.
Poppy Blanco TV. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I hear you, Shauna. How old are your kids?
My son is 12 and my daughter will be 9.
Okay, so I definitely feel you on that. They're not quite on the 7 side of 8 anymore. They're kind of in the middle of 8 now. And so their friends like really don't have a lot of limitations from what I can see, unless they just do what they want when their parents aren't around. But I was cool with YouTube until I heard Sonic the Hedgehog using profanity. I'm like, what the hell? Turn that off. They can't even get on it now unless I pick it. But if I have to step away, I already know what can and may happen. So let's just not even go down that road. Let's not do it. You want to go on YouTube, you can watch some of my videos. Not all of them, but a couple. And that's what I'll let them do.
Scum TV says, hey, y'all.
Hey, how you doing?
So for me, my daughter, my 12-year-old daughter, was listening to a song and I had to stop because I'm like, oh, I like the beat, but then I didn't like any of the words. You guys heard Freaky Girl?
By who?
Nicki Minaj.
No.
Oh, girl. Let me see if I can pull up the lyrics real quick. It is bad. For those that don't know what we're playing in the background, Queen, can you tell us what we're listening to?
This is A Little Bit by Queen Sanaa, yours truly. And it is available on all streaming platforms. And there's a video on YouTube. It's interesting. You should go watch it.
And your music is like?
I'm
letting you throw all your plug out there.
Yeah, it's conscious music for the most part. You know, it's everyday life experiences. By the way, there is a what do I say? A dirty and explicit version of Little Bit. But it's also for the grown-ups. It's not for the young people. So it's not available everywhere, you know. But most of my music is about love. My music is about the culture. It's about finding yourself and being strong in your queenhood and your kinghood. And no, I don't believe everybody can be in a king-like or a queen-like mindset. But my music at least inspires that type of thought process so that you can get on that path. Is what for the freaky girls my music, or what you talking about, Silky?
Silky's always talking a little extra. So do you agree that there should be 2 different versions now of songs?
I do. And honestly, I believe sometimes I'm like a millionaire with it. If you can make a song without the profanity, you should try. I believe that it shows your depth as an artist to be able to make a song without, talking all crazy. But I also believe that people who use profanity are really intelligent, because you got to get creative to know how to do it. So there could be a balance. We're adults. We talk about what adults talk about, but children also try to listen to everything that adults make, don't they? So yeah, you got to find that balance in there somewhere.
Well, I didn't know that this song was just out there. It's not even cut at all. I'm just going to give you a couple of the lyrics because it's just a lot. Let me see exactly which ones I think is cool. Remember, this is a 12-year-old. Listen to this.
Wait, where's my pearls? I need to clutch some pearls somewhere.
Okay. Ready?
Yes.
It says, I can lick it, I can ride it while you're slipping and sliding. I can do all them little tricks and keep the dick up inside it. I don't know how to actually sing this song, so whatever. You can smack it, you can grip it, you can go down and kiss it. Then there's another part. Now my daughter is like, Mommy, really? Then he says, that pussy purr, and yup, meow, hold up, fuck boys. Ain't no need for you to roll up. And this is just on regular Spotify, like she's just like, and she's saying all the words, and I'm like, yeah, okay, right. I told her when she got those teeth and when she may lose those teeth if she keeps spitting out all those lyrics.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm not going to go as far as the losing teeth, but I understand the sentiment. I do, because why at 12 are we even interested in that type of conversation? And yet at 12 years old, my favorite song was Knocking the Boots. And the conversation that my mom had with me was like embarrassing, mainly because I didn't even know what Knocking Boots meant. I liked the song. So,
right.
I don't know. I know that there's like a thin line between going too far and just really having to educate the children about what it is that they're hearing, right?
But I think that it's subliminal. Knocking the Boots is a little more subliminal than using the word pussy and dick for a 12-year-old to pick up on. That's a lot. And I mean, I could actually put her on here right now and she could spit it to you like as if she was back in the day Queen Latifah. You know what I mean? Like
I need
not stopping and missing it. Right. So I was like, okay, I don't know. Yeah. I can't get mad at her because I was listening to the beat and then the message is just wrong for the kids. Totally wrong.
Yeah. That's wrong for the kids. Yeah, of course my mama knew. She was my mama. Let's see. Drunk said, most artists used to make 2 different versions when radio mattered, but everything is streaming, so it's no point. I mean, I hear what you're saying. And so that's what I mean. Like, because of streaming, I still want my little ones to be able to hear, listen to, sing what it is that I made. So I got to make some versions without any bad words in them. Because the minute they say them, it's a problem.
Yeah, no, it was a problem earlier. So I get it.
Yeah. Missed you last week, Drunk? Let's see. Kimberly Moore says, oh no, absolutely not. Right, I'm with you. Thank you for plugging my YouTube channel, Savage Com Entertainment. Anthony said, so your mama knew what Knocking the Boots meant. She did. My mama had 5 kids. I mean, it was no secret. But she definitely didn't want her 12-year-old daughter going down the path of having 5 kids either, And I agree with Silky Savage. No more YouTube for 12-year-olds. Because look, how can you really filter it? You can try, but things are going to make their way through.
Yep. Go ahead. Keep
try
reading.
to shelter our kids as much as we can, and then it gets to a point that outside influence is bound to happen.
Yeah.
You gotta just keep them educated.
Sorry to interrupt you. Drunk said, direct lyrics is the wave. Being lyrical takes brain power that people don't have anymore. I totally agree with that. Silky Savage said, Mama was a Rolling Stone. My mom and dad were married. I don't know if it was love or they just had a common physical interest or what, but I know they had a lot of kids together. In matrimony. Yes. Sorry.
Drunk said he missed us too, so that's a good thing. Yeah. But he missed your debut and your singing for us and all that good stuff. So Drunk, make sure you go watch it. Yeah. I also wanted to talk about like the YouTube itself. You know how they all want to become rich right off the bat, being on YouTube. Yeah. We need to be on YouTube and be followed. Yeah. And why is it not working for me and all that good stuff? I actually have an older child that thinks she should still be on the Bad Girls Club.
No!
Yes.
That's funny.
Yes. And she is upset that she has a child and she can't just drop his behind off and go and try out for the Bad Girls Club.
First of all, image is everything. And I say that in the way that how you present yourself is always going to follow you, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm not saying she should or shouldn't do the Bad Girls Club, but I don't know, when it comes to that or any type of like, what is it called? Reality TV type of show. People are going to always view you how you present yourself in that space. Like, can you clean it up later? Are you gonna be able to go back and like reverse that impression that you gave of yourself,
Exactly. I want to say her to be true to herself, but if she's a true bad girl, that's just what you're gonna get is some bad people behind you.
For sure.
Right now she works for the government. She wants to quit her job and be on Bad Girls. I think. Yeah.
She is
Exactly.
ambitious.
She went to the government. She's not a bad girl. She can't go on bad girl club.
Mm-mm.
You don't want to do that.
And that's exactly what she wants to do. And I tried to explain to my 12-year-old how they have shoots. There's a cut. There's a replay. Let's try that again. And there's children that actually go on drugs in order to get themselves to keep going. Those 24 hours and stuff like that. And then that's a problem because you think that these kids are normal, and then you have this addictive spirit while Shauna lights up.
Right. Hey.
This is a plant. It just grow like this. And if you so happen to light it on fire.
And listen, Nutmeg does the same thing, so I'm not even mad at you. Nutmeg is in the cabinet, right? But here's the thing. I agree with you about the going on drugs to even be able to maintain this persona. And then there are also people who believe that you are how you are on TV, and they really try to fuck with you in public.
Right.
Behind something they saw on television. Like, you don't even know me, but you want to fight me because I got into it with your favorite character on this show. Like, it really happens. I don't know. I wouldn't suggest that to our young people at all. Like, stay away from reality TV. It's not reality.
When I was pregnant with my daughter, that's the only time I really watched Bad Girls Club. And it was entertaining. You know, it's like the new Jerry Springer. Who doesn't like to watch a train wreck happen, right? But no, there was a girl on there. They were fighting. And I'll never forget this because I tell my cousin all the time, don't make me take my socks off. Because the other girl's getting ready for bed and she's taking her socks off. And the girl says, "Oh, you taking your socks off? Where I'm from, that means you want to fight." It's like, where are you from?
Right.
Your socks? Your heels, your earrings? Okay, maybe, but your socks.
You taking off your socks. Don't make me take my socks off.
Don't make me take my socks off. Yeah, so if my cousin doesn't answer my phone calls, I leave her messages like that. Don't make me take my socks off, because we both saw that same episode.
That's hilarious. So I just want to ask, you said you watched it while you were pregnant. Did your child come out mad aggressive or like?
You know what? Actually, okay. It's the second one that gives you a hard time, right? And I swear, maybe it was the Bad Girls Club, because I was blaming my mama, because the whole time I was pregnant, she goes, "You don't get two good ones. You don't get two good ones." And then out came my daughter and she was like, "What's up? I'm gonna find a loophole to everything you tell me to do." So maybe it was the Bad Girls Club and I've been blaming the wrong thing the whole time.
Yeah, she came out wanting all the smoke. Mm-hmm.
The son, when he was a kid, you'd be like, "Nay, don't do that." And he just not do that anymore. He'd be like, "Okay," and he go figure out something else. And my daughter, for example, a specific story. Over here, there's a cord running from the house during the summer to an outside TV.
Mm-hmm.
She picked up the cord. I'm like, "Put that cord down." So she did. She put it down, and then she stands on it, and she's just rocking on it.
Oh.
I'm like, "Little girl, what did I just tell you?" She goes, "I'm not touching it. I just standing on it." Get off the cord.
Yes. She wanted to smoke early.
Yeah, she did. She's still like that. She does exactly what you told her to do. And if there's any way she can still do what she wants to do and do what you told her to do, she's going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Queen, you want to read some more of the comments?
I do, actually. So there are lots of good links in the comments. So you all go take a look at those and go ahead and subscribe. I see where Anthony said he was just playing. It's okay, dear. My parents really clearly, they had 5 kids. They got busy. Drunk said, "That's a lot of young women these days. We having great careers, but they want to be famous. So here come the OF, the BGC, Bad Girls Club, I guess, the Twitch, hot tub streams. It's crazy." I do agree. And he said that's what y'all topic is about, social media influencing, to want that fame and social status more. Agree. And to want this little wasp waist and these big, gigantic hips and butt that aren't even normal and natural. Smokey Savage says, "Let's hope her feet don't stink." Aha, I guess that would be a reason to fight if somebody pulls their socks off. Corn chips.
That's true. That's true.
SCOM TV is laughing. What's she laughing at? Stinky feet? I don't like stinky feet. That makes me angry. I want to get to song lyrics though, right? Because I was watching, there's this meme circling around. It's like this video of Two Live Crew on Donahue. I don't know if y'all are old enough to remember Donahue, but my first inclination was, why would they have Two Live Crew on Donahue, right? And
yes, I know what you're talking about.
And the prostitutes are on stage dancing, because y'all know the little girls, a lot of them were prostitutes. They weren't just dancers. Right? And I'm just thinking, like, we actually enjoyed that music when we were younger. And now that I'm older, like, why would I ever have listened to that when I was younger? Why?
Right. Two Live Crew was...
Yeah. And then lyrics today aren't that different. So
I just think they're straight to the point. And I'm going to need a little subliminal if the kids are going to sing it. Just a little bit. Like, I do know that the Humpty Dance, that song, you know, he kind of did the dance, but didn't think nothing of it really. But they were just really talking about humping.
Yeah, they were.
We had that word back in the day, humping, not, oh, okay, let's just fuck. And that's all they say, is just straight out.
There are lots of different ways to say it.
Right. You just say it now. It's like, okay, slow down.
Yeah. I don't know. I like a good ratchet raunchy song, but sometimes even I'm like, yeah, this is a bit much. I don't need to be listening to this. But I don't even want my kids listening and singing the innuendos, because they're intelligent. At some point, they're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
And how do you clean that up?
I don't know, just like Santa Claus, really.
Like, first of all, there was never a Santa Claus in my house. I would just keep it a band with y'all. I don't like to have to come back and explain why I told a story about something or any of that.
Yeah, there's no Santa. Well, there is a Santa. Santa is the man that you go and take your Christmas pictures with, and that's it. You just take a picture. We have a black Santa. We good.
Okay. That was so layered. First of all, it's not, for me, it's not the white or black Santa. There's no way you're posing with the local pedophile. We're not doing it.
Right. No, actually, my dad usually is at the church. So, you know, like, they know who's
Got you. Okay.
And that whole Santa at church thing is a little funny to me too, but you know.
Yeah, girl. Drunk said, it's funny when my back was super wild to me as a youngin'. Now with music these days, that's light. Facts. That, and that's the other one by Akinelli, Put It in Your Mouth. But that was the club go-to. That was the go-to every time we went to the club, right?
That was Freaky Girls, apparently.
Yeah. Yep. Silky Savage, facts to nah. There's no Santa. We as adults need to stop lying too much to our kids. Totally agree. Drunk said, Santa got dreads, Boogie?
My dad didn't got dreads. What?
They were asking if Santa did have dreads.
No. Santa actually looked like high like my man, just a chocolate man, bald headed with a beard. That's usually. Yep, that's Santa with a hat on his head.
So you have a type, is what you're saying?
Oh, I do.
How I like my men.
But that wasn't the subject. My bad.
Right. Shauna, you in there feeling good, huh?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm great. I just love listening to you guys. No, I also, song lyrics forever. I think you said some great examples. We've definitely had some nasty songs. There's some on a much nastier level. I don't think they shouldn't be made. But I think it's your responsibility as a parent to expose your kid to the music that is not even necessarily appropriate for their age, because it can technically not be appropriate, but maybe they don't quite catch on. Yeah, right. But like, my daughter's definitely listen to some songs that I know, but she's not catching on to. But we don't listen to WAP, you know. But I like that song. I think that song's hilarious. And Cardi B, she sings it, and there's a video of her. She's listening to it, and her kid comes to walk in the room, and she shuts it off real quick. She made it. She still knows it's not child appropriate. So it's our jobs as parents. I don't think that the music existing is a problem. I think across the board, parents have lost control of their children.
What do you think?
That's more of a problem than music itself.
You think it's happening in the homes or in the schools, or where do you think it's happening at?
I think it's happening in both.
Okay.
Totally agree with that. And I agree that parents are losing control of their children, mainly because parents aren't jumping in and being parents to their children. Like, you see something that shouldn't be happening, nip it in the bud. You see a friendship that is not a good alliance, you clip that shit. Like, I mean, that's your responsibility as a parent, in my opinion. But I also might overdo it, you know? So I don't really know.
Well, I think the laws are a big factor in it, because at school you can't, the teachers aren't able to do as much as they used to back in the day. These teachers are being beat up because kids don't have to be quiet. They get to go to a different room and act up. When they're acting up, they're like, oh, go to this room so you can act up with that teacher, and that teacher's in there talking about, one more kid come in here and smack me, that's gonna be it. But they're actually classrooms for children that act up, or there's medicine instead of the child just acting correctly.
I don't know about where you guys are, but there's whole schools for the not well behaved children over here.
Same here.
Somebody that I'm pretty close with, their child goes to it.
Yeah.
And love them, but they don't have any control over their child, and most of it's their fault. And that's why they get in a school like that.
I can agree with that. And there's a lot of reasons too, especially when there's a parent that regardless of what their child does, that parent is at work. I can't just walk away from my government job per se, whatever my job may be. I can't walk away and be a part of that situation. I have to pay the bills, make sure we're not going to be homeless or not have lights or whatever. Right. Silky Savage said, y'all trust a man that's always looking for 304s. I don't even know what that means, so I'm not going to respond to that one, but excuse me. Junk said, when drill music took stuff got way more violent. Not sure how you're trying to say that, but forget being rich, everybody wants to be a shooter. Okay, I feel you on that. Silky Savage said, everywhere. Drunk said, drug rap changed a lot of stuff. Honestly, drug music made it cool to be basically a crackhead. Now, here's that evolution, right? First, people were singing about don't use drugs. Then people were singing about sell drugs, right? So we can make it. Then people were talking about use the drugs that we were selling 10 years ago. And now, like, maybe the songs need to be about rehab. I don't know. Silky Savage said, parents want to be friends with their kids now. Oh, yes. Teachers also are now calling the students friend. Come here, friend. Have a seat, friend.
Yes.
That's not your friend. That's a kid. Talk to my kid like they're a kid, not like they're a friend. Because I understand you want to make them feel, I guess, I don't know. I don't even know what they're trying to do. I don't like it. You're a teacher. That's not your friend. Keep the kid in line while they're in school. I'm going to keep them in line when they're at home. We will have a great relationship, but we're not friends. I'm your mom. That's your teacher. That's your principal. That's the bus driver. Everybody has their role, and you're going to be respectful to everybody in their roles.
Right, and they call them by their first names. I don't like that.
That don't work. Drunk said, I'm glad I ain't got kids. I'll be hella strict and worried my kid in their room watching some dumb shit. I feel you. You meant took off. Okay, thank you for correcting that. I got you.
When he was talking about the music changing, that song, I was going to do something, but then I got high. Everything is
yeah. That song is funny.
Yep, that song is funny, right? But it's like do, and you want to just nod your head to it. Just nod your head.
Being beside a stoner who's singing that song, but they can't get anything done because they're always high.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's not a good thing.
That song, actually, if you listen to the lyrics, is really not promoting getting high at all. At the end, now I'm a paraplegic, and I know why. Because I got high. It's definitely not being like, let's go get high. It's like, now I can't use my legs.
Right. Right. Nobody gets to the end saying he's a paraplegic, which is really bad, but that's really, really bad.
Let's see. SCOM TV says kids are leading the parents too. Parents are scared to say anything. Now, I do see that happening a lot too. I also see parents who are afraid to say something in public because they know in private they'll probably knock that child's head off. Where really, if you get in the practice of speaking to it immediately and not letting yourself get mad enough to knock the head off. You really can address it anywhere at any time. But I also know that children like to try you when they see that there's an audience. So it's kind of like a fine line balance with that one, you know. Drunk said that song was a classic. No, it was. It was. I was going to clean my room until I got home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly.
Who said they knocked their kids into next week? Okay, Grandma.
That's Silky Savage. So he's going to knock his kids to next week. Okay.
That's like every Nana's favorite thing to say, and then bring them back. Knock you in the next week.
Mm-hmm. Well, no. The funny thing at my house was knock the black off of you. And then my cousins would say Kayla must get beat up a lot. K-Boogie beat up a lot because she's not brown like the rest of us. So yeah, I'm a little light, so that means I talked a lot.
Drunk said, I seen a kid on Twitter destroy his mom's whole house because she took his phone. I read that. And
did you see
somewhere?
It?
I didn't see the kid. But I saw the mom come talk about it, and she said her son has.
He had an episode.
Yeah, he's mentally unstable already.
I would say I would have an episode after he had that episode. Did you get to see it?
I didn't see the kid. I just saw the mom's after thing.
Yeah. That was horrible. How do you break up the toilet? I just need to know that part. Like he broke the whole toilet.
He had rage. That was a rage episode. And was it about a phone or did he like snap?
I heard it was the phone. Does anybody know in the chat exactly what it was? Savage did a whole show on it, but I can't remember. I think she took the phone from him. And so he snapped.
So someone else came back and said that wasn't what it was, and that somebody that she knew spread that narrative, and that it was actually one of his mental episodes. So I don't really know, but it did look like a hurricane hit it. You're absolutely correct, Drunk. And I was just thinking, my son may be on the spectrum, but he bet not never, ever, 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 ever in the history of the years that the Lord gives him on this earth, destroy my house, ruin anything in my house, even sound like he thinks he's about to flip in this house. None of that. None of that.
But usually when a child has an issue, a mental issue of that manner, you're taught how to restrain them of some manner. So the child must be huge. Right. And then he shouldn't be in the house if he has episodes that big, because there's a baby in the house. There was an actual baby with baby stuff all over the place. Wow. So no, that was a dangerous thing.
Yeah, for real. He really could have hurt somebody. And I wouldn't be surprised if his hands were bleeding too.
Yeah.
He did a show on it. I got to go watch that. So he said, bro, flip the fridge over. Like, nah, bro, you got to die about that. I mean, it was a bit much. So Silky said, if there was a father in that home, it would have been different. I actually agree. And I agree in the way that it kind of scares me, because a lot of times when I think about dads and the way they respond to their sons, I kind of do wonder if the dad is going to try to beat that out of him, or if he's going to end up hurting the boy or whatever. And then I know moms, we tend to be a little soft. So what's the balance? Where's the balance in those situations?
Drunk said he's 6'2" and 270.
At 15 years old? Good Lord, he should be on somebody's team somewhere, not beating up the house.
Right. So it's not safe for her to be in the same house as him if he has episodes in that manner at all. That's not, I mean, love your child, but they can't be within the home if they're going to come at you like that.
Oh, yeah. With the father he would have known earlier. Yeah, I do. I understand that.
I just think a father might be able to restrain him better than the mom did, because it's not as easy. As she has to deal with her kids. I love it. I love. Didn't even blink twice. I love it. That was so cool. Not even a blink. Good. Show us how Queen does it. Mm-hmm.
They do the most. I'm telling you. Stephen Heck. What up, Junk? SCOM TV says a father would have checked his butt. Yeah, expeditiously, because they do try the moms a little more than they need to, for real.
That's the fun part about having a son. I've heard. I don't have a son. Just have a grandson.
Yeah. Yeah, my only begotten son be going a little too far with it.
SCOM TV says moms are soft. Not everybody's mom is soft.
Yeah, some moms are way too hard. What'd you say, Shauna?
I'm a fun mom. I'll play Nerf guns with you, and I like laser tag, and I like being a big kid, but also the kids that are around me know that I don't mess around either. Not even a little.
Not even a little?
Not even a little.
You're out there in the woods, right?
No. When I was out in the woods, I was in Maine. I was camping. I like to be in the woods. I go out of my way to go in the woods. But no, I live this is a town, but I live right next door to the city. Not Boston.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's just like a normal neighborhood. I can see my neighbors and stuff.
Oh, okay. Because every time we talk to you, you're usually in the woods. So, I know that those people don't play out there. That's them people I drive past.
There was just that one time that I came on the screen with a machete. I was camping.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the machete.
Going there,
Everybody heard that, right? That's in the chat room. She's out there with the machete.
I for sure was.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I do go out of my way to go in the woods, and there's a place where I go walking, and you can walk there, but we had that windstorm. You guys aren't in the same area. We had a windstorm like a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
A tree fell and took out the deck, so people don't walk over there like that anymore. But I still do. But because people don't walk over there, the greenery all grows in. So yeah, I bring my machete so I can get through.
Yep, and walk through the woods. Mm-hmm.
That's right. And the machete was a gift, by the way, because people know that I do this.
And normal people get machetes as gifts. Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever tried to claim that I was normal on this chat ever.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
I like my machete, actually. How far have y'all gotten in the chat? Reno said, "Hello, ladies." Hello, Reno.
Hello.
I only see the ones that come on the screen. I can't actually see the chat, so I depend on you guys to tell me what's happening.
Okay, so they're talking about the Giants, and Stephen Junk is going to save it for the sports chat. But Brian DeBall got the juice. And Shanna, you encouraged Junk to stop biting his nails. Thinks it was you who was talking about it a couple of streams ago. And I just want to kind of revisit those dangerous mamas, right? Because my mama was dangerous. My mom was with the fisticuffs, right? My mom, she wasn't the spanking mom. She was beating stuff down with fists and whatnot. Brooklyn woman. And I don't know. I know a lot of men whose moms really fucked them up. Often and in a major way. And then I'm looking at how they interact with women later. I don't know if that was the best way for mom to handle that. But how does mom handle it when there's no father in the house? There has to be something to let him know you're doing too much, True
indeed. So we all see the like, share, follow, and subscribe. Just make sure everybody in the chat has walked out and pressed that like button, subscribe button, and then that bell to be notified.
Yeah.
That's huge. That way you'll be notified for our show and every other show on Savage Com Entertainment, which he has a whole lot of them. And that's my plug right there. Go ahead, Queen. You can keep reading.
No. I don't know if anyone read where Drunk was talking about how if there was a father in the house, there would have been a whole different outcome because it's a real possibility you might die. Yeah, dads are kind of scary. Silky asked Drunk if he sucked on his bicep today, and Drunk was like, pause. No, he was like, chill, Silky.
Forgot about that.
Right. He said he didn't have a dad, so his mom was really out to prove something. And that's what I'm talking about. I don't think because there's not a dad, you really have to damage your boy just to have your boy understand what's going to happen if he doesn't do the right thing. I don't think that has to happen, but that's my opinion. He said, I didn't mess up in school because I knew the response when I got home. Well, how did that make you start looking at women later on? What were your feelings towards women after that?
Yeah, drunk. How do you feel about women? Oh, Savage Com Entertainment says same drunk, so his mom didn't mess around either.
My mom was actually the disciplinary in my house, not my dad.
Mm.
Hmm. And she was actually not only disciplinary for us, but like children around us. Like my cousins, my aunt would tell them, "Do you want me to call your aunt?" That was my mom. My little cousin, the one that goes to that school.
Yep.
He's young. He's had a couple of run-ins with the police already. He's real young. And when we were talking, and he's like, "Which one's your mom?" And I told him which one's my mom, and he was like, "Ooh, you have a scary mom." I'm like, even this kid. So like, still to this day, she's still known as the scary mom to the children that are around now. So yeah, that was my mom. She was the disciplinary. My dad is pretty laid back.
That's hilarious because at any given time in elementary school, I could look up and my dad would be standing in the doorway of any of our classrooms just to make sure we weren't with the shits. And when the other kids saw him, they tightened up immediately, you know? Stephen said, I ended up being more scared of my mom. And let's see, SavageCom.entertainment says the same, being afraid to mess up in school because you already knew what it was. Reno, click to subscribe. So you got some love in the chat, Reno, with your subscription. And I guess that was funny to SavageCom.entertainment. So dads are there for backup when the job needs to get done. So my father, right? Let me tell you about my father. He had us walking in size order down the street. Okay. The boys would be on the outside. The girls would be on the inside. He would spank us in size order as well. Or like, you know, we really had the arms out for what felt like an hour. I think I said that before, sometimes on one foot. And yeah, it didn't make me any better or worse, I don't think. I think it was kind of extra, but we definitely tried to make sure we didn't have to get that kind of treatment as often as possible.
Yes, in my household, my dad did try to do that whole put your arms out, put your hands out, get a switch. Absolutely not. I am not going to help you in disciplining me. Absolutely not. Especially because my mom was like, wait until your dad gets home. Like I was really going to wait till my dad got home. I always took off. No way am I waiting. Who's waiting for someone? Absolutely not. Then I would get it worse because now I took off, you know. And it's not even like I can run. I kind of just walked away each and every time. So she could have grabbed me up, but, you know, she didn't. So, but my dad was definitely the one to discipline. Definitely. And the last time he disciplined me, I said, I don't understand why you treat me like a slave type thing. I don't get it because it's okay to hit me once, but you hit me like, I don't know, like I was running from the master. So I'm not into that. Like, and for those that don't know, my dad was a preacher, so that's why I use that whole master thing and the whole slave thing, meaning back in the day and all that good stuff. Yes.
Yeah, that's crazy. Would you say I said my mother's real name in a Box Brown song, thinking it was funny and lost a butt cheek, a whole butt cheek? Did you get an implant? My mom used to just the whoop wherever for however long. Bobby Brown song got you. And what was the song?
Yeah, what was the song? Probably Truth About Aroni.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Right.
But yeah, like she just used to just whatever she could find, that's what she whooped with, and she stopped when she was ready to stop, and she just whatever got hit. I'm like, there's no structure to this. Like at least structure,
right?
Discipline. Like, what are we doing? I don't know. I don't believe parents should whoop out of anger or even discipline out of anger either. I think parents should collect themselves first. Your mom's name was Jackie. What Bobby Brown song has Jackie in it? I know, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm interested in what song you were singing with Jackie in it. Oh, read
a heater. Oh my God. Right. A heater at me. Golly, whatever she could get her hands on, it was flying in my direction. God, that's scary.
Oh,
Stephen Heck said the extension cord in the shower had me like, this woman is crazy. See, it'd be that emotional discipline. You cannot do that. You can't do that. He said,
I really thought I had it bad, but no.
Oh yeah, true to the fact that I want you, Jackie. What song was that? It wasn't My Prerogative, was it?
No.
But I know what you're talking about.
I do too. But I'm gonna Google it. Yeah.
I like this song in the background.
I like the song in the background. Tell me who sings this song?
This is me. This is God's Heart. It's an interesting song too. It's also on all streaming platforms. I have not quite finished the video for this one yet. Yeah. I'm emotionally immature. Who isn't?
I'm looking it up. I'm curious. I shouldn't be looking it up.
The messed up thing, I really could beat my mama's ass, but that's my mama. So it's like, damn, you know what? I'm going to tell you something. I'm not going to say no names, but I know a young man who was an adolescent and his mom was doing the most. And he like got upset and flexed. Not like he was going to hit her. He flexed out of frustration. So he got beat up. And after he got beat up, he went and punched a medicine cabinet and sliced up everything, his whole hand. He was just so frustrated that he didn't even feel the pain from it. And I just never really believed that women should be beating on young men like that, because I always am going to wonder where all that frustration is going to go later on. Like, the wrong woman's going to say the wrong thing and just like, I don't know, trigger that young man. And I know for some young men it's not like that, but I know for some young men it's all the way like that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
All the way like that. You're not going to talk to me like my mama did. Silky Savage. I have a story about that, and my mom picked me up and threw me across the room. Golly.
Wow. Okay.
Like,
these are some strong women. I'm just
letting you know. Room, like, she was
Are you a midget? What is
it? Was she mad? Like, what are the circumstances? I don't even know if we should be talking about that, but damn.
So Savage Calm Entertainment, the song was "Don't Be Cruel." I found out what song it is.
That's right. I would never be that cruel to you.
Mm-hmm.
So you say.
That's exactly what
So you say.
So I think, because I don't know, I'm not a male, so I believe that because there aren't males within the home, perhaps they're watching it on TV and how they have to react to women, and that's why little boys are reacting to their moms in such a manner that they get jacked up. Again, I'm talking from a woman's perspective. I'm not a male, so the males that are in the chat that had a mom, did you watch TV and get, fucked up in the brain and think that you could handle your mom like that?
Yeah.
What is wrong with that?
She didn't affect how I feel about or treat women, Drunk says. Now, except I just don't accept anything that I don't like. And SavageCom.Entertainment says, I never mixed up my feelings about my mom with other women. I do know a young man who has a tendency to put his hands on women regularly. It's a thing. And then when I heard about, his upbringing with his mom, like always abusing, beating him up, and just being really extra and physically violent, I was just like, okay. If nothing else, she never taught him how to cope with his feelings or, cope with his anger, No, I think it's important to have little boys know how to interact with women from very early. Like, I don't know, that's a lot of responsibility, especially when there's not a father in the home.
Yeah, I think the hardest part is their brains are wired differently. So they're thinking they shouldn't show all those emotions. Then we make them say what you're feeling instead of acting out like that. And they're confused and it turns into something totally different. That's why males in the home are very important. Fathers in the home for structure.
Yeah, for sure. And if there's no father in the home, at least some healthy father figures from the community, the village or whatnot.
Yes.
Drunk said, we didn't even have cable. I didn't get to see the bad stuff. I was watching Everybody Loves Raymond and stuff like that. That's funny.
Everyone Loves Raymond? Oh, man.
It's a good show.
I know.
I don't think women can teach men about their feelings. I can agree with that. At least have you try to understand them, though. Reno says people usually never see past the beating, but why is a very important question. It's a crazy world with over a million ways to die young. When mama sees one of hers is moving in a certain direction, I get that. Do you beat it out of them? Like, is there enough intellect between you two to have a conversation or to kind of show you something different? I don't know. I don't know. Like, no amount of beating from my parents was going to change me from the path I ended up on, because that was my journey.
That's true.
That was my journey. So sometimes I had to learn the hard way.
Yep, but your experience, it makes you who you are today.
Yeah,
I do agree with that. You have a certain path you're going to go down regardless. Because my parents are totally different than me. And I never understood my parents. I'm like, one man since you were 15? That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yes, no, we hard-headed. Yeah.
Oh, men are hard-headed. Okay. Those boys are hard-headed.
And women are angry? That's interesting. I know there is a serious anger problem in my family. Like, I gotta pray daily.
I don't think that women can't teach their sons if necessary to deal with their feelings. I just feel like a lot of mothers teach their sons that you're not supposed to have feelings. Like, you're crying, stop crying, you're a boy.
Yeah.
So that comes from mothers and fathers. So I don't think it's necessarily that somebody, as any parent, can teach their kid. It's just they ain't doing it the right way.
You just have to teach them to balance the emotions all across the board, girls and boys, because if you don't balance your emotions as a girl, then when you turn into a woman, you can't balance them. And then when you cry, a man might think that you're crying because you're sad when you actually want to scream.
Or scratch his face off.
Right.
Drunk said, my mama beating me, though, kind of saved me in a way, because a lot of stuff I didn't participate in because I was more scared of my mama than anybody else's opinion of me. I feel that. I do. What? Okay. First of all, Silky.
What is Silky?
Women are seriously angry. Drunk said, I feel like I grew up to be a super disciplined person because of that upbringing. I feel that too. Silky said, women can't, I guess, control our emotions. Okay. So Rena goes, in my opinion, I understand where those come from and would never hold getting smacked against my parents. Maybe I was just a bad kid. I don't know if I want to touch that one. Steven said, word, drunk. I sold weed for 2 weeks at 13, made $30 and got scared my mom was going to find out. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Hilarious. Snooky says, see? Drunk said, Steven, facts. I thought I was for weed in high school. I was too scared to even start. I understand what you're saying.
Wait, but his game wasn't good. What do you mean only $30? I mean,
you weren't even good at it. Yes.
Right. Like, what's happening here?
Yes, that's hilarious. No, I feel you. I think it's good to have a healthy understanding of boundaries with your parents. I just don't think you should be getting the crap beat out of you just to establish those boundaries. I'm just saying. Maybe I am soft, but I think there's a better way.
Well, according to social media and stuff, you're not supposed to touch your children anyway, and all of their emotions are just theirs, and you really shouldn't be telling them anything. That's not helping.
Yeah, you're right about that. Stephen Heck, I was scared Fisher Price my first drug sales. Oh my gosh. He said he was green with it, wet behind the ears with it. I feel you.
Basically, poor thing.
I'm glad you did not get in trouble, because that would have been worse. She made $30 and you got your ass beat.
Right. $30. He said 2 weeks. That's a long time for $30.
Nope, whoop that butt. Yeah. Look, I'm not touching that.
Right.
I'm not. Look, there are a lot of people out here that do not need to have anyone's hands on them at this point in life, just because of some of the things they've been through prior to now.
But how do you feel about if you don't discipline them, they go out in these streets and then the cops discipline them? Or they don't know that there's a consequence to anything they do. That's the problem. Like, they should have a consequence.
There should always be a consequence.
Okay.
There should absolutely always be a consequence. It's cause and effect. That's the nature of life. You do something, something's going to happen. What is that something going to be is the question. How much of that whipping is about getting you in line, and how much of it is about me serving my ego? I'm embarrassed, or I'm angry because you didn't listen to me, or this, that, and the third. Is it really about helping you, or is it really about you not offending me?
I like to take whatever is really important to them, like the TV or the telephone or the iPad. That makes them think, well, what is the problem there?
Or you won't leave this house for a month. We're not going anywhere. Such and such is going on. I don't care. I'm cool staying home. I'm fine with that.
Yep.
I don't mind.
Shauna, how do you feel?
I definitely have smacked my kids, right? But I don't have to really do that at all most of the time anymore. If it is for any reason getting to that point, I just got to ask if you want one, because they know that I'm willing to do it. I do the count, 1, 2, 3. If I get to 3, it's too late. So I don't ever get to 3 anymore. My daughter might push it to 2. My son moves whatever he needs to do at 1. So they know that I don't, like I said, I don't mess around. They know I have rules, and I always follow through with whatever I say I'm going to do. But most of the time, yeah, like now, because my first go-to was never smacking them, right? So there's levels to this. And now that they're like, my son's older, he has his own Xbox. Now I can take the Xbox. That matters more to him.
Okay.
But there was at points where I took something, it didn't matter. And you got your hand smacked, it still didn't matter. You got your ass smacked, and now it does. So, and then you learn.
It's levels, right? It's definitely
there's levels. It wasn't done out of like an anger spot. It was done out of there's consequences to your actions, and they keep getting worse as you keep going. And I'm gonna follow through with exactly what I said.
Yeah.
But like now I don't ever need to do that, just because I did that at an appropriate age when I needed to, and my kids fall in line. They're pretty well behaved kids. They absolutely can push my button sometimes. They're kids, and they're sarcastic as hell. I don't know where they get it from. It's a different type of frustration now, but yeah, so I'm not against people smacking their kids, because I feel like it should be an option. It shouldn't be your go-to, but it should be an option, and your kids should know that it's an option that I put on the table.
Yeah.
So don't make me get there.
I mean, I've had to get creative, unfortunately, due to some experiences outside of myself with my kids. There is a court order that nobody is whooping on the kids, and cool, because it wasn't my go-to to begin with. But I've had to get extremely creative in how I, facilitate and put my foot down and let it be known I'm not playing with your ass, right?
Right.
However, I still also have to have that empathy. Like, what's really going on in this situation? And is this really about me, again, not satisfying my ego, right? Or is it about me, like, in my misplaced rage? Or is it about me and I can't control them, so now I gotta rage against the child? It's still a child at the end of the day. And they still gonna have to learn how to cope as adults. So if I'm addressing them with all this anger and all this physical violence, who are they gonna become when they get older?
Sure.
Yeah, I agree. Savage Com Entertainment said, if you can get to them mentally, you won't have to beat them. I mean, yeah, I'm with you. And I realize a lot of children don't respond to anything but violence too. Listen, I totally understand that. Drunk said, whoopings. And Reno said, I think getting aborted would suck a lot more than getting smacked. That's crazy.
That escalated quickly.
So late for abortion at 12.
Yeah.
Steven said, if it's necessary, punishment has to fit the crime. Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Silky Savage said, they get the sarcasm from you, Shanna. I think we all kind of agree with that sentiment. Reno said, exactly, so they're getting them mentally. And then Drunk said, they say, never whoop your kid when you're in an emotional state. Facts. And if you see that some stuff is strewn all over the house, or somebody done painted the carpet with your lipstick, I mean, you might be a little emotional in that moment. And then when you calm down, you might not even feel like whooping is in order. And that's what I'm saying. Like, there's layers to that. You know what I mean? It can't really be the go-to.
I know when my children were younger, I told my mom, come get them. Every time I was on that verge, I'm like, come get her. Come get her now. Nope, she'll be outside. And I'd be dead serious, except for my middle child. There was no putting her outside, no pushing her outside, no coercing her to go outside. She was like, nope, she's gonna have to come in and get me. And when that whole count the thing, 1, 2, 3, I went 1, 2, 3. She said 4, 5, 6. My middle child was it. She was like, count it.
No.
Uh-huh. Like,
no.
my oldest child used to say, I have 3 children. My oldest used to say, Mommy, I told you to just drop her off at the firehouse all the time. Every time we passed the firehouse, it was like, just drop her off. Drop her off.
Look, we've had that conversation, because if you think you're going to run over me in my house, you're not going to be able to be in my house. And whatever that means is just what it means. I'm not going to be disrespected in my home by a child. And that doesn't mean I got to knock your head off either.
That's true.
It doesn't.
That just means they don't have to pick you up at school. You can walk home. That's what I used to do.
You don't have to be here. It's a privilege to be in my house. I treat my children very well. They have everything that they need, and they have some of the things that they want when they earn them. And you're not going to disrespect me.
Agreed.
And that goes for anybody in my life. You're not going to disrespect me, because I take care of the people that I care for, I love, that are important to me. So that's boundaries and self-care. That's boundaries and self-care. I go through a lot to run my household. I go through a lot to make sure that everybody is happy and fed and healthy. And no, I said what I said. Let's see. Boogie, that's being lucky. Silky, what you looking at? Junk said, when I got to the age where I refused to get whooped anymore, that's where I got kicked out. I grabbed her wrist one time and had to live at grandma's. I hear you. It be like that sometimes. Reno said, if you say fire is hot and your child understands and listens, you're rather lucky. Not all kids are that way. You're right. A lot of people have to learn the hard way. I made a song about that called Harder Way, because truth of the matter is sometimes you just have to see for yourself before you realize, all right, they weren't lying to me. Right.
And where can we find that song?
Oh, it's on all streaming platforms. So pull up your favorite platform and look for Queen Sanaa and go ahead and listen to my catalog, and you decide what you like the most. Silky Savage said, some of these kids act the same as their mother. I do concur. Sometimes you can look at the kid and just know who their mama is off the rip. That's so true. That's so true.
I'm not saying that my child didn't get something from me. Like I said, I wouldn't dare lay on the bed to get a whooping or anything like that. So I mean, I understand when she's like, Grandma's got to come in the house to come get me. So yeah. All set, yeah. But she's like 5 times worse. She wants to go on the bad girls club, and she's, you're a grown up now. That's a teenage want. That's not in your 20s. That's crazy.
Well, I mean, she's living the dream in her 20s. I don't know, Kate Boogie. I'm just saying, if that's what she chooses to do, she's going to have to stand behind that for the rest of her life.
Well, Silky Savage says ratchet, and that's what I think, too, when I think of the bad girls club in your 20s.
Oh, God, because you go in there just to fight. Like, there's nothing else but just...
But the thing is, it's not even real. Like, they really were mad, and they probably said, stop, stay still. Now we got to take it from this angle. Now continue. And then they get up more and more upset. Yeah. And that's crazy to me.
Porn is the same way, isn't it? Steven said that waiting on a whooping is the worst. It absolutely is. It's the anticipation. SavageCom Entertainment has dropped my Instagram and my YouTube channel in the chat. Thank you. Y'all, please go follow me and subscribe. Reno said, if a field is full of bear traps, would you let your kids run around so they can learn the hard way? There are levels to this. And what do you do when he wants to run around the field? You snatch him up and you remove him from the field, and you still don't have to beat it out of him. So yeah, I agree with you. There are definitely levels to it. Marino said, you're talking crap now. I know you are. Drunk said, no disrespect to your daughter, Boogie, but that's a major red flag. She needs a deep conversation. Perhaps. Like, who does she want to beat up and why? Was she feeling aggressive about these days?
Opening her
Silky said, hell yeah, run, little ninja. Through the bear traps? Really? Okay, anyway, back to your daughter. What do you think? Where do you think she's at in her head right now?
Oh, she's at that age and the stage of her life where everything is uh somebody else's fault. She's a victim. She will be victorious one day once she realizes she's not a victim, she's victorious. But at this stage, she's like, oh, I get to yell and I get to scream on the Bad Girls Club and I get to act a fool, and there's no consequence except for you got to leave and go home.
Buy her a pass to the rage room and have her record it and watch it over and over again. That'll be the therapy right there. Break some shit.
Yep, her birthday's coming up. You know what? I think I'll try that, and then we'll make a show about it.
Yeah, it's a rage room. They usually get that from their mama. You know what? I'm not going to debate that. I'm not. I can literally pinpoint all the angry women for generations in my family. I do not disagree with that at all. Not to say that there aren't some fathers that pass that on, but there is something about the way women get hyper emotional and start to rage as opposed to kind of deal with the situation. Not saying men don't do that. I'm definitely not going to say men don't do that, but I see it a lot with women. Let's see. I feel like people have midlife crises at an earlier age these days, and part of that reason is social media. So you're saying like a lot to try to aspire to, basically? Is that what you mean? I think danger is totally a male thing, says Reno. I don't know.
Uh-oh, that's a whole conversation.
I don't know. I know some risky young lady. I watch what boys do and roll my eyes all the time. I hear you.
Suki says no, Reno.
No, I don't know. I think it's situational. Like, you got the boy riding his motorcycle 120 miles per hour, and you got the girl just hopping into random strangers' cars. I think it depends on what we're talking about with the danger.
Facts.
The most dangerous human is a woman. I don't know about that. That's all inclusive. I don't know.
Suki's just coming up with the jabs about women now.
Yeah.
Usually he's lovey-dovey. Now he's all...
Are you hurt again today? Who hurt you today? Junk said, when I said midlife crisis, that thing where you're doing one thing, then you're like, okay, I want to do something totally different. Now, I understand what you mean about that. I wonder, is that just social media, or is it also this pandemic thing that everybody just experienced? You had people switching whole entire careers after being stuck in the house, for months and months on end, just walking away from jobs they've had forever, right? Emotions are dangerous. They can be, if not harnessed properly and bridled properly. And I didn't get to suck my bicep today.
That's what's wrong with suck his bicep today.
Which reminds me, by the way, Drunk, I'm glad that you stopped biting your nails. Congratulations.
Yes, right. But he's sucking on his bicep. So, I mean, but you know that's
yeah.
I'd rather
sometimes you gotta have trade-offs. I'm proud of the first part.
Okay.
He's the silky savage. One day he's silky, one day he's savage. That is hilarious.
You're right.
I love it.
Absolutely right. And just to go back what Drunk saying about social media, that's the whole point of our show today, was talking about social media has got them messed up in their heads where they think that, oh, this is what I should be doing. But yeah, I will see if she wants to go to the rage room to see what happens.
Tomorrow I might quit my job and be an IG model. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Anna, what are you gonna do tomorrow? What do you think you're gonna do?
Oh, well, I have tomorrow off, so I'm not going to work, but I'll also definitely not becoming an IG model. My cousin makes fun of my Instagram pictures all the time. I'm not very photogenic, like not even a little bit, really. No, I can be a little bit. Obviously, there's some good pictures of me, but for the most part, not photogenic. And my Instagram photos, my cousin makes fun of me all the time because she looks at them and she takes great pictures. So she says, like, if I moved a little bit to the left and got better lighting, or however the hell you make them look good. So I can't become an Instagram model. I'll just be going to lunch and to the woods tomorrow.
In the woods. You always in the woods. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a place for peace.
Okay, I agree. It's me messing with you.
On my day off, I got to take a little visit. my God.
Well, ladies, it has been wonderful. I love the conversation always.
Yeah.
Every Sunday night at 8 Eastern Standard Time. And you can find Queen Sanaa where?
On all streaming platforms, Queen Sanaa, or on social media, QS Queen Sanaa. That's YouTube, Instagram, and anywhere you look for QS Queen Sanaa. I think Drunk is going to make an OnlyFans. Y'all signing up?
Okay. Where? Okay, how do we find it, Drunk?
Right.
Post the link.
Yeah,
Yes.
probably not. Drunk is full of the poo-poo.
Oh my gosh.
It's a nice way of saying it. He said, great show, ladies, and we agree. We're going to end the show now. You guys have a good night, and thank you for being in the chat.
Have a great week,
Bye.
everybody. Take care.
Good night.